Walking up in the fields of Bali, I wonder, how did this happen? How did I even get here? Living on a turquoise island, car-free, after running events worldwide for decades for the automotive industry. I'm on the way to meet my friends, a sweet gay couple living in Australia on a 2-week vacation in Bali. I haven't seen them since more than 10 years. Not much contact either. Last time we met, we were living in Germany. They were musical performers, artists, very creative. Me working as an event organizer, living opposite lifestyles. I take you to 2008. Beijing, the bird's nest in Beijing is about to open the doors and wings for the Olympic Games. That time, I played my role as an event coordinator, structured and in control of the schedule, of the artists, of the crew catering, of their lunchboxes. David, whom I'm about to meet, was one of the 16 performers we booked for a daily show at the showcase on the Olympic Green. And we had spent about 3 months together in China that time. That was the first time in my life that I got shaken out of my structured way of living. The first time that I noticed there's a complete other way of living. It is 4 a.m. in the morning. Sarah, one of the performers, and now one of my best friends in Amsterdam, appeared at the meeting point wearing golden sandals. We were about to walk the Great Wall in Beijing to watch the sunrise. If you have ever done that on the Great Wall, you know that it's not a walk in the park, but it's rough and risky. So I looked at her feet. This is it? With a look at my proper hiking shoes, she replied, we'll be fine. I was scared. The words of my boss popped up in my head. Anika, you can take her to the Great Wall, but she's our best performer. If something happens to her, you are responsible. It was totally out of control. Me with all the gear needed in control of my safety, and her with her golden sandals. And so we walked. And it was one of the most remarkable sunrise moments of my life. And I learned it is okay. Trust, flow, don't bother the small stuff. It's not so easy, right? As I was responsible for the artist management, I found more and more connection to their world. They invited me to join them for whatever craziness they were up to do in their free time. And they were like, we were sitting in hotel rooms, just clicking photographs, body painting. We went to karaoke parties. There was no agenda. There was no goal. It was the pure joy of just being in that moment. They didn't need much because the creation always came from within. My worlds were clashing. Like for me, it did not make sense. It's kind of, they broke my world. They broke it. I felt like they broke it open. It was a little tiny scratch at first, like a small glimpse. And that is where a tiny ray of light came in. And it never left. More and more I realized and observed something they all had in common, these artists. They were free. They were living in the moment, like kids. And I started to remember, and myself started to remember. They live what I have worked so hard for to build, and what I still haven't found, freedom. Was I wrong all the way, like working harder to make more, to ultimately find freedom, to be independent? All this ambition and energy, and the goal setting and the structure and the hard work for others for nothing? I felt like giving up. It took me 7 more years of experience and observation to really give up. And I noticed giving up is actually creating space and allowing life to take over, and you start to let things happen. It is giving up. 2014, 6 years later, I remember I was working in Paris for the motor show. As I had nothing waiting for me in Cologne, in Germany, I decided, I stayed after the project was finished, and I slept on a couch of a friend overlooking the glittering Eiffel Tower at night, seeking, wondering, restless. What else? What next? There must be more to life. I decided to stay until it starts raining. And after 2 weeks, the rain came. I jumped on a train back to Cologne and I made a decision on the way. Instead of making dreams come true for others, no, I want to know my own dream. I want to get to know myself, do something for me finally. So I signed up for yoga teacher training. I was about mid-30 that time. You got a and that was the beginning of another 7-year journey in India and to myself. India is not a place to be a tourist. India is calling you when you are a tourist in your own life and when you're ready, and it shows you the mirror, slaps you in the face, shakes you, wakes you up. And as I heard the voice of my yoga teacher saying, Anika, you have to learn to let things happen. That time, this was really far away for me. And I asked, but if my boss asked me, like, did you call the client? And I said, no, it did not happen. How would that make sense? It was a 7-year journey of transformation with so many stories and lessons learned with the help of many tools like Reiki, lots of yoga, chakra study, reflection, silence, meeting His Holiness the Dalai Lama, philosophy, friends, travel from south to north to south in India, and overall human design. And still I had parallel one leg in the corporate world. I was running the world wearing one flip-flop and one high heel at the same time for 7 years, actually 7 years. A journey that showed me more and more that you don't need to take control about the small stuff to change your life. You make a decision to get to know yourself and you follow your heart and life is taking over and life is changing things for you. It's giving up. Back in the fields of Bali, I knock at the door of their rented villa. The joy of seeing each other again after so long was over the moon. We changed. Our lives became the opposite. Me, the free spirit, living on an island, dancing under the full moon, not knowing what will happen tomorrow, and them, house owners, successful business owners, real estates, very structured, 2 dogs. So maybe we inspired each other that time. And we came together to remember and to remind each other where we came from. Like when you zoom out and see all the events in your life connecting, that our past is such a valuable part of it, that we are here to live it all, and that every challenge in life is only a preparation for what comes next. And David says with his unbeatable French accent, love, you were always here before us. You knew where we were doing the laundry, get a great massage and order dinner. So you made us a guidance booklet. And tears came up and I realized all that I have learned in human design in theory about myself, about my chart, like I felt it by that mirror shown by David. It is said that I'm here to go first, to experience, to be the pioneer, to experience more things in a week that some people experience in their whole life, which is sometimes not so easy. I'm here to inspire people with my voice, to speak from my heart, to bring chaos and to shake them up, because I learned that if you want to change your life, you can't do that from your couch. You got to jump. And I'm here to walk the talk and to empower by example, and overall being the best example for myself. And that little ray of light that broke into my world with these golden sandals in 2008 is becoming bigger every day until I remember I am light. And until I'm really able to show everyone that every person, you are light, we are light, and it's light. It's all written in my human design chart. Like how my system digests, where the place is that gives me least resistance and therefore keeps my body healthy. And so I can see things that I'm here to see and share my perspective with the right people at the right time. Why I'm nervous with some people and creative with others, and that my motivation is innocence. And there is no agenda for me, no goal, living my life and taking the collective you with me on my journey to open doors, to show the doors, my strategy as a generator, which are 70% of the world's population, is to respond to life, to react, because when I initiate, the timing might not be correct. And that was the biggest game changer for me. So get to know yourself and it all makes sense. As soon as it makes sense, your mind will be at peace and your mind will have evidence. And then it allows your heart and your body to take over with all its wisdom. And that brings you back to yourself, to the source, and it sets you free. Whatever freedom means to you. And so I learned to let life happen, not to me, but for me and for you and for us. And I can't wait to meet these artists in Las Vegas soon for a reunion. It's going to be crazy. Thank you so much.